Hello filmmakers, this is Kerry with Filmmaker Central, and I've got the DJI Action 2. Now I've been using it for about a week and I definitely have some opinions on it, and I think this is going to be a real world, honest review. But there is some pretty cool things that nobody else is talking about. So let's get right to it when we come right back. All right, what's the Action 2? It's a tiny little action cam, right? You've seen it all over the place. I didn't even have to go into all the specs and everything. It can do 4K 120. I usually shoot 4K 30 or 4K 60. Okay, great. Yeah, does a great job. I went out, did some off-roading to get some footage to see how good the stabilization was, and it was pretty darn good. There's some shots of it being mounted inside my Jeep like a dash cam on a hard mount. Then I put it outside on the windshield for a much higher view, because that wider field of view when it was inside the vehicle just showed too much of the hood. So I need to get it up higher to eliminate some of that hood from the shot. I tried holding it outside, just outside the window, just holding it. Those shots turned out great. Using the magnet on the bottom, I just stuck it on my steel bumper and got some shots like that. And yes, I did put it on a DJI FPV drone, but we'll get to that in a little bit. What do you get in the dual monitor combo? You get the camera, you get the second monitor, which also has a front-facing screen, additional microphones, a Usbc port for charging, and something else. Again, we'll get to that. And the micro SD card slot. And you have a power mode button on the side, just like you do on the top of the camera. You get a tripod adapter. This is a 1/4 on the bottom with the magnetic base. Things just snap right into place on there. The bottom of this little cap comes off. You peel this off and it is this super, super sticky stuff that you can stick on just about anything. Comes off clean. And once it starts losing its stickiness, you wash it and it's good to go again. You also get a action camera mount, a 2-prong mount, if you will. Boom, pop it in there. Use any of your GoPro accessories or other action camera accessories, piece of cake on here. And you get this 2-piece lanyard. One piece slides inside your shirt, the other side on the camera, snaps into place, and you can get some walk around footage. Okay, that's what you get in the package. Let's talk about the camera. So, all right, one of the main benefits that everyone is touting is how tiny this little camera is. And sure, it's smaller than a GoPro Session with better quality, better resolution, better frame rates. Yeah, this is a cool little camera. Except there's no SD card slot. It has 32 gigs of internal storage that after it's formatted, it gives you 24 gigs. That is nothing. It is very, very little memory. I run 128 gig cards in all my action cameras. In fact, all my cameras, because I just burn through so much footage. 24 gigs is not a lot. To get it off of here, you either need to connect it to your phone, which is very, very slow and prone to error, as I have found out, or you connect it to the base, connect it to USB-C, and plug it into your computer, which isn't that bad. But if you're trying to shoot a lot with this out in the field, do you really want to carry around a laptop just so you can constantly dump the footage off of here? So for me, that's kind of a downside. There's also no USB port on here, so there's no way to charge it without the use of the dual monitor or the power bank, or the power combo pack, which is just a battery without the front-facing screen. It also has the SD card slot. So limited memory, limited battery, no way to charge it, no easy way of getting footage off of it, but it's a tiny little camera. And something like this on an FPV drone works really well, but you got to dump the footage. So downside, if you connected them together and it said, did you want to copy the footage to the SD card? Oh, yes, that would be great. I would love that. So that's kind of a downside of the Action 2. When it is connected, it is a little bit bigger than a GoPro or the original DJI Osmo Action, but it's not too big. And for me, it's a good quality size. My concerns with this is that you have a really big piece of glass for the lens, and you have this really big monitor sitting out here and a really big one on the back. I'm gonna break it. I'm just gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna break it. Thank God it has DJI Care Refresh. You get 3 replacements in 12 months for a small deductible. It's the only way I would buy this thing, because me being me, am going to break this. Not a question of it. The magnetic mount, I think that is solid. I mean, it is a magnetic and a physical connection. So once it connects with the magnet, there's these 2 little prongs on either side of the different adapters. So you connect it, make sure those are pushed in, and you are not pulling this thing apart. So high winds, shock, things like that, it's not going to come apart. So I'm very, very confident. When it is in the Action camera connector, this thing is I mean, I can grab the FPV drone and shake it by the camera. It's not coming off. So I'm very, very secure in that. Now these things do stack. So you can use the adapters with the power module or the dual monitor module. Both of them, they just, like I said, they just stack like that, which is kind of cool. So let's talk a little bit more about this dual monitor. So you do get the same screen on the front as the camera has on the back. So for a front-facing screen, that's great. You have additional microphones on here. So you have back and side microphones giving you complete stereo sound, which is really good. And the sound is not bad. Honestly, it's not that bad. But, you know, at anything more than kind of an arm's length, the microphones just aren't going to pick up well. In that case, you need another microphone. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment, because there is a way of connecting an external microphone, sort of. All right. Has the USB-C port for charging and getting the footage off. Now, what you do to charge the whole thing is you just charge this. And this actually is an extended battery. So every time you take the top piece off and you go and use it and you put it back on here, it will charge this until this one is depleted, and then you can charge this again. It has the it has the micro SD slot on the back, supporting up to 256 gig memory cards. All right, so great camera, works great. A couple questions people have asked, what about the overheating? Okay. iPhone 12 Pro Max overheats if I'm shooting high-speed video for an extended period of time. GoPro Hero 10 overheats if I'm using high-resolution, high-speed footage for an extended period of time. My DJI Osmo Action, like every camera I own pretty much will overheat when pushed to their limits using high frame rate, high-resolution footage for an extended period of time. So yes, that's a thing. They all do it. The processor in here at those resolutions and frame rates is generating a lot of heat. This is a very small frame to try and dissipate that heat. So yes, it will heat up. Most of the time, you are shooting short pieces of footage. Granted, there are those times where you want some very long piece for whatever reason, right? It might overheat. Now, I've seen the tests where they've had it sitting on the table. They're going, oh, look, it's overheating. Well, yeah, you have it sitting on a table. Like a big portion of the camera is not dissipating heat. You want this thing in the open. If there's air blowing over it, even better. So if you're outside in the wind, you know, you're skateboarding or something, it's going to be far less likely to overheat because wind is blowing over it, helping keep it cool. If it's sitting stationary for an extended period of time, especially if one of the sides is sitting on the ground or something, you may experience overheating. Same with any camera. Is it worse on here? Possibly because of the small size. It's just something to keep in mind when you're shooting action stuff. All cameras overheat. So, that being said, all right. Now, when I did my unboxing video, one of the things I said was two showstoppers for me were that the main camera didn't have an SD card slot, which is a pain, but normally I'm going to be using it like this. When I do need to just use it by itself, I just have to deal with it. And if I know in advance, I'm going to take my laptop so I can dump the footage off faster. My next big complaint, which I said was very serious, was not being able to connect an external microphone. Now, true, there is no mic jack on here. There's no 3.5 millimeter mic jack. However, it does support digital input. Interesting, right? So what is digital input? Well, digital input runs over USB-C. So some devices that can output digital signal can work with the Action 2. Maybe you'd like me to name one of those. How about the R0DE Wireless GO II? This will work. Now, I also suspect that the upcoming DJI mic will work because it has a similar interface. I don't know for sure that it will work, but I suspect that it would work. But the R0DE Wireless GO microphone works today. And all you have to do is, we'll just turn, I've got the transmitter on, I got the receiver on. I'm going to plug just a standard USB-C to USB-C cable on here. Then I'm going to turn the Action 2 on. And I see a microphone icon up in here. If I do not have this plugged in, there is no microphone icon because it's just using the internal microphones. When I plug this in, I now see the microphone plug. Now, here's what we'll do. Okay, this is testing. I'm testing it with the R0DE Wireless GO. It should sound pretty good. All right. On the Action 2. So now I'm recording on the Action 2. Need the microphone. Now I'm recording with the Action 2 with the R0DE Wireless GO, and I'll just move it over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yes, it works extremely good. Little inside shot of my studio here, but it records awesome audio this way. So there you have it. There is a way of connecting some microphones to the Action 2. So if you didn't know that, there you have it. So that solves one of my major issues because I own the R0DE Wireless GO II, and this is my favorite mic to use for a number of different things. To record this, I'm using the older R0DE Wireless GO, and this is the R0DE Wireless GO II. So I own both of them. I love them. They're great microphones, and to be able to use them with the Action 2, super cool. So love that. So that's it for the Action 2. You really need to decide for yourself if something like this is going to work for your purposes. It's going to work for some people. It's not going to work for others. It's just that simple. It's not going to be for everybody. And at $519 for the dual monitor combo or $399 for the power combo, it's not inexpensive. I mean, that's a significant purchase decision. So you really need to figure out if this is right for you. Now, I want to talk about the app for just a moment, the Mimo app. One thing that I really like about using the Action or the Action 2 with the Mimo app is even when I am recording, I can see live video. So I know if the camera has moved or the exposure is off or if something's going wrong, I can see it in real time. With the GoPro app, even with the Hero 10, as soon as you hit record, the live preview goes away. And that is apparently some kind of patent dispute with somebody. And until they work that out, that is a major drawback of using the GoPros wirelessly with the app, is I can't see what I'm shooting, where I can see what I'm shooting with the Action 2 and the original Osmo Action. So if you're interested in picking up an Action 2, please do me a favor, visit my friends over at multicopterwarehouse.com. They'll hook you up. They've got both the power combo and the dual monitor combo available. They're happy to take care of you over there. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Kerry with Filmmaker Central, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.